He looks at his phone and thinks of you. He types your name, he deletes it. He tries to sleep, but your smile appears in the darkness. He walks past that cafe where you talked for hours. He slows down, almost stopping. Your scent still lingers somewhere in his memory. His hands tremble when someone mentions your name. He conceals his faltering breath. He smiles and changes the subject. At night, he unlocks a folder password protected with your name. If this reminds you of someone, write, "I felt that." Maybe other women are also trying to understand what no one else sees. Sometimes, what goes unsaid screams louder than any words. Have you ever felt that unexpected chill? That sensation of being remembered, even when you're completely alone. It's not your imagination, it's real. It's him, somewhere, intensely thinking of you. When the day ends and all distractions fade away, when he finally allows himself to be alone with his true thoughts, it's your face that appears in his mind. Do you know when the universe conspires for two paths to cross again? It's not a coincidence. It's energy, it's connection. It's the spiritual plan speaking louder than any rational decision. He tries to move on, trying to build a new life where your name doesn't echo in every empty corner. But some connections are too strong to be erased with time. He avoids certain places. He avoids certain songs. He avoids certain topics, not by chance. Because those places, those songs, those topics still carry the essence of the two of you, the energy that doesn't dissolve no matter how much time passes. Your paths have diverged, but the connection remains intact in the spiritual realm, like an invisible thread that vibrates every time he tries to pretend he's gotten over it. Can you feel it? That sudden intuition that makes your heart race for no apparent reason? It's at that very moment he's thinking intensely about you. What you don't know is what happens when he dreams of you. Dreams don't lie. They are portals to truths that the conscious mind tries to hide. He wakes up disoriented, confused, with your imagined fragrance still lingering. With the sensation of having heard your laughter, he spends the entire day trying to mask the impact it had on him. You seem different today, say the people around him, but he just brushes it off. How could he explain that? In the dream, you both talked as if time hadn't passed at all. How could he admit that he woke with misty eyes over something he can't even name? What he will never confess is how he searches for signs of you at every corner, in every notification on his phone, in every song that randomly plays and somehow reminds him of you. The spiritual truth that hovers over both of you is more powerful than any physical distance. You still communicate in silence through an energy that remains unbroken. If this feeling resonates with something inside you, write in the comments, "I still feel this connection," because other women need to know they are not alone in this experience. Some would call it longing, others regret, but it's deeper than that. It's a mark on the soul that transcends rational explanations. When you think of him intensely, know this. At that exact moment, something inside him awakens. He may be talking normally, but his heart takes an inexplicable leap, a tingling sensation in his hands, a sudden shiver. These are the energetic bodies still connected, communicating in a language beyond words. That tremor in his hands isn't a coincidence. That breath he catches when someone mentions your name isn't casual. It's the body reacting to a truth that the mind tries to deny. Involuntary gestures are the most honest confessions. They are the silent declarations that never reached your ears, but remain alive in the energy between you. What he can't even admit to himself is how your name still echoes inside him in the most unexpected moments. How certain perfumes, certain songs, certain phrases spoken by strangers trigger memories he tries to suppress. There are things he wanted to tell you during that last meeting, but pride held him back. Words that got stuck in his throat. Confessions that time has made even harder to express. And now those unspoken words weigh like stones on his chest. Can you feel it? That unvoiced message lingering in the air when you think of him intensely. It's not just imagination. It's a real communication happening on the energetic plane. A silent conversation between souls that recognize each other beyond time and space. His dreams of you have been more frequent, more vivid, more real than reality itself, and always with the same theme, reuniting with you. Saying what got stuck in his throat, feeling that unique connection again that he has never found with anyone else. The funny thing about these deep spiritual connections is that they do not respect the barriers we've built rationally. They flow like water, finding its way through the stones. He may have built an apparently complete life. He can smile in pictures. He can follow routines, but there's an empty space that only you filled, and he knows it even if he denies it. When you dream of him, it's not just your subconscious creating narratives. It's a real visit on the energetic plane, a meeting of souls that happens while the bodies rest. That's why he wakes up thinking about you without understanding why. That's why he has that inexplicable feeling of presence that he can't rationally explain. Deep down, he knows. He knows there's something greater than the two of you, something that transcends logical understanding, a connection that defies time and space. Ever since you walked away, something has changed within him, a silent transformation that no one else has noticed. Because he has become skilled at hiding it, but the eyes don't lie. Have you noticed how those close to him see a different sadness in his gaze, a spark that faded and hasn't returned? "Are you okay?" they ask. And he just forces a smile and replies that everything's fine. What else could he say? That he misses you with every breath? That he woke up again with your name on the tip of his tongue? That he still searches for your scent in places you've never been? Pride is a wall too high for certain confessions. But there's a truth he can no longer deny. That song, yes, the one that played while you laughed together, while you shared dreams, while the world seemed perfect, has found its way back into his routine. Not explicitly, not like before when he'd play it in the car on the speakers, unafraid to show how much it meant. Now it's different. It's a secret ritual, almost a silent confession to the universe. He waits for the house to fall asleep, checks to see if he's truly alone. He carefully takes out the earbuds as if handling something precious. And then, at the lowest volume, just enough to feel without drowning completely in the emotion, he lets the melody transport him back to you. The first chords are always the hardest. It's when his heart races, when his breath falters for a moment, when his hands feel slightly trembling. It's when the reality of your absence becomes more palpable, more painful. But he continues, because this pain is also the only moment he allows himself to feel you again. With his eyes closed, he lets each note awaken memories he tries to keep dormant during the day. Your smile, the sound of your laughter, the way you tilted your head when something intrigued you, how your eyes sparkled when you talked about your dreams. It's in those moments, sheltered by the solitude of dawn, that he finally admits to himself, nothing has been the same since you. Have you ever felt that inexplicable chill at 3 in the morning? That sudden sensation of being remembered? It's not your imagination, it's real. It's him thinking of you when the music reaches that specific part that always made you smile. Energy doesn't lie. The connections between souls don't just dissolve because the bodies are apart. There's a silent communication happening that transcends the physical plane, that ignores distances, that persists despite time. If you felt a tightening in your chest reading this, write in the comments, "That song still plays in me too," because other women need to know they're not alone in this experience. What he can't admit is how he looks for signs of you in every corner, how he examines mutual friends' profiles, hoping to find some picture of you, how he types your name and deletes it before sending over and over, always defeated by the fear of rejection. But dreams, our dreams don't lie. They are portals to truths the conscious mind tries to hide. And you appear there, vivid, real, present as you've never ceased to be in his heart. He awakens disoriented, confused, with your imaginary scent still lingering, with the echo of your voice still reverberating in his ears. And he spends the whole day trying to disguise the impact it had. "You look tired today," his colleagues say. If they only knew he spent the whole night talking to you in his dreams, reliving moments, creating new ones, finally saying all the things his pride didn't allow him to say when it was still possible. It's funny how he acts when his name comes up in a conversation. First, there's that moment of tension. His entire body freezes, breath held, as if time briefly stops. Then comes the visible effort to seem casual, to pretend it's just another name, just another person from the past. But the eyes, oh, the eyes always give it away, that different spark, that fleeting sadness he tries to mask by quickly changing the subject. Some people notice. They pick up on the subtle shift in energy, the momentary discomfort. But no one really understands the depth of what's happening inside him at that moment. How could they? How could anyone imagine that upon hearing his name, an entire universe of memories, regrets, and unresolved feelings explodes within him? How to describe the feeling of having his heart simultaneously filled and emptied in a matter of seconds? What no one knows is that he has formed new habits, little invisible rituals that keep him connected to you, even if from a distance. That cafe you used to visit together? He still walks by. He doesn't go in, just watches from afar, as if he can feel your presence in the places that hold the story of the two of you. That book you once recommended? It's on his nightstand, marked exactly on the page where he stopped when you drifted apart, as if picking it up again would mean definitively closing yet another shared chapter, and especially that song, the one that played when you first met, the one that held moments of joy, connection, love, the one he now only listens to in secret at the lowest volume, like a secret between him and his own nostalgia. Have you ever had that sudden intuition, that inexplicable certainty that you're being remembered with intensity? It's at that exact moment that he's listening to your song. It's when the connection between you two intensifies, when the energy fields align, and when souls communicate in silence. The spiritual truth that hovers over both of you is more powerful than any physical distance. You still communicate through this unbreakable energy, this frequency that belongs only to you. Some would call it longing, others regret, but it's deeper than that. It's a mark on the soul that transcends rational explanations. What he will never confess is how he composes messages to you in his mind, how he crafts words he'll never have the courage to say, how he imagines reunions that may never happen. And what if you ran into each other today by chance? He would freeze, literally freeze, as if the world stopped for a few seconds, not because he doesn't want to see you, but because the emotional impact would be too overwhelming to process immediately. It's the clash between what he tried to hide from himself and the truth he could never fully erase. The people around him might suspect something. They notice how he seems different on certain dates, how his gaze drifts at particular moments, how he avoids talking about certain phases of his life, but no one, absolutely no one, knows the depth of what he feels when he's alone. How much your name still resonates with every beat of his heart. How vivid, present, and real your memory still is, because he's learned to disguise it. He's learned to smile at the right moments, to say the expected words, to go through life as if everything is fine. But at night, when everyone is asleep, when there are no more eyes watching, when he can finally be honest with himself, it's you who appears, in thoughts, in memories, in dreams that feel more real than reality itself. If this message touches something inside you, if you feel there's a connection that remains alive despite the physical distance, right, I acknowledge this silent truth. Because naming what we feel is the first step toward manifesting our reality. Maybe you will run into each other again one day. Maybe not. But the connection remains, alive, pulsating, real. And while he listens to that song at a low volume, trying not to drown in memories, something inside of you responds, in silence, in energy, in truth. That's why you feel that tightness in your chest at specific times. That's why certain songs still move you for no apparent reason. That's why specific places still carry an energy that only the two of you understand. Energy doesn't lie. Intuition doesn't fail. Dreams reveal what the conscious mind tries to hide. Have you ever had that inexplicable feeling that you need to hear a certain song, without quite knowing why? It's your inner guide speaking. It's the ancient wisdom residing in your being, answering his silent call. When he listens to that song thinking of you, something inside you awakens. It's as if your two souls meet in that ethereal space where time doesn't exist, where only the pure truth of what you mean to each other exists. If this message resonates with you, share. This song still plays within me, because by naming our truth, we give permission for it to manifest fully. Maybe you will run into each other again one day, maybe not, but the connection remains, alive, pulsating, real. And every time he puts on his headphones, turns the volume up just enough to feel without suffering too much, and lets the melody transport him to you, something is healed in both of you. An old wound is closed. A cycle is completed so that a new one can begin. That's how energy flows. That's how the universe works. That's how connected souls communicate beyond time and space. Trust your intuition. Honor what you feel. Allow yourself to be present in this silent connection that still vibrates between you, because while he listens to your song at the lowest volume, trying to hide from even himself how much he still feels, you receive this silent message, this unspoken declaration, this acknowledgement of your worth that he keeps as a precious secret. And in the space between one note and another, between one heartbeat and the next, You find each other. You've always found each other. You will always find each other. In music, in dreams, in signs, in silence. Because some stories don't end. They simply change key. And the story of you two, even if it seems dormant in the eyes of the world, continues to thrive within him. Like a secret locked away in a vault. Like a treasure that no one else can see or touch. Like a truth he recognizes, but cannot admit aloud. The acknowledgement of your worth is there, intact, growing every day, with every silent comparison he makes, with every frustrated attempt to find in other places what he only found in you. If you felt this message resonate deeply within your being, share it with other women who might be experiencing the same thing. Write in the comments, "I accept this silent truth," because by naming our feelings, we not only free ourselves, but also those who have yet to find the courage to do so.